you? Are you lost? Wrong neighborhood, ape! I don't want no trouble.
What happens when raw, unchecked aggression collides with ironclad, disciplined control? It's a lesson a group of bikers would never forget, and a moment a quiet town would talk about for years. The evening breeze drifted gently across a quiet park in Fairfield, Connecticut. 16-year-old Evan Carter sat beneath the sprawling branches of a wide oak tree. His deep, dark skin was a sharp contrast to the crisp white of his dress shirt and the charcoal black of his tailored suit. Having just come from his school's Honor Society induction, Evan's posture commanded respect, calm, alert, and focused on the heavy book in his hands. He was waiting to walk his younger brother, Leo, home from soccer practice. Then came the sound. The thunderous rumble of 5 heavy motorcycles sliced through the peace like a jagged blade. They didn't pass by. They rolled onto the grass, engines growling like hungry beasts, and stopped just yards from Evan. The riders dismounted slowly, their leather jackets dark against the setting sun. They scanned the park with a predatory stillness, and their eyes locked on Evan. Have you ever felt the air grow heavy with a threat you didn't ask for? Stay with this story, and tap like and subscribe to Toss Stories as this unfolds. The bikers didn't linger near their machines. The leader, a broad-shouldered man with a shaved head and a jagged scar across his knuckles, nudged his friends and started walking toward Evan. Their boots crunched sharply and rhythmically against the gravel. Evan felt the tension, but he didn't flinch. He noted the leader's weight shift. If he lunges left, I'll pivot right. If he reaches, I'll trap. The leader stopped just inches from Evan, blocking the sun and casting a long, dark shadow over the pages of his book. "What are you doing out here, kid?" he rasped, sneering. "Are you lost? You're on the wrong side of town." The words hung in the air like poison. Evan closed his book calmly, marking his page with a steady hand. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't show the sting of the insult. "I'm waiting for my brother," he said, his voice steady and unwavering. The leader smirked at the other bikers, his eyes full of a deep-seated hate. "He thinks that suit and those big words make him a man, but you're in the wrong park, and you're wearing the wrong skin for this neighborhood. In this town, you're just an outsider in a fancy costume." The bikers spread outward, subtly boxing Evan in. The families on the soccer field were too far away to hear the venom being spewed beneath the tree. "I don't want trouble," Evan said evenly. "I'm just here for my brother." The biker leaned closer, his breath hot and sour with the smell of old tobacco. "Who said anything about trouble? We're just letting you know you don't belong here, and we like to keep our parks clean." The tension thickened like fog. Evan's hands rested lightly on his knees, eyes locked on the leader's shoulders and hips, the places where a movement begins. He wasn't afraid. He was calculating. He was a student of geometry and force, and right now, the bikers were just variables in an equation he had already solved. The leader's grin turned predatory. "Maybe we should send you back where you came from, in a box." A low, cruel chuckle escaped the men behind him. Evan didn't move. He read their posture, their weight shifts, and the shallow, aggressive rhythm of their breathing. Suddenly, a sharp voice cut through the air. "Evan, everything okay?" It was 10-year-old Leo running over with his soccer bag, sweat glistening on his forehead. "Leo, stay back! Go to the coach!" Evan's voice cracked like a whip, commanding and sharp. The biker's attention snapped to the boy. "Oh, look, another one." The leader sneered, pointing a gloved finger. "Maybe we should teach the little one the rules of the neighborhood, too. Show him what happens to people who don't know their place." Evan rose deliberately. He smoothed his suit jacket, his movements slow, fluid, and terrifyingly calm. He planted his feet in a stance drilled into his muscle memory over thousands of hours in a windowless dojo. "Don't touch him," Evan said. The politeness was gone. Steel had replaced it. Leo's small hands trembled. Fear and admiration battled in his eyes as he watched his older brother transform from a student into a protector. Have you ever faced someone who hated you before you even spoke, and yet you knew you could hold your ground? Hit like and subscribe. The next moments will leave you stunned. The leader stepped closer, genuine amusement in his eyes. He saw a boy in a suit. He didn't see the years of discipline. "You really think you can stop all of us?" he sneered, reaching out a massive, greasy hand to shove Evan's chest. Lightning fast, the moment exploded. The leader lunged with a guttural roar, but Evan moved with the silence of a shadow. He shifted just inches to the left, letting the man's brute momentum carry him into empty air. With a controlled, surgical twist of the man's wrist, Evan applied a joint lock. Thwack! The sound of the man's arm hitting his own side echoed through the park. The biker recoiled, a cry of pain escaping his throat. The other two attacked simultaneously. Evan didn't meet brute force with brute force. He used their own aggression as a lever. While the biker's heavy boots thudded clumsily on the grass, Evan's movements were as quiet as a whisper, punctuated only by the sharp crack of his counterstrikes. He ducked a wild punch and delivered a sharp, snapping kick to the first man's lead knee. A yell erupted as the biker crumpled. The second man lunged, but Evans spun in a blur of black fabric, delivering a crescent kick to the man's ribs that sounded like a drum beat. The leader recovered, swinging wild, hateful punches. Evan danced around him, his suit jacket not even wrinkled, his breathing rhythmic. Every dodge was a testament to his focus. Every strike was calculated to disable, not destroy. Around them, the park fell silent. Phones were lifted, capturing the incredible sight of a teenager in a suit systematically dismantling three grown men who had underestimated his character and his capability. Enough! Evan's voice rang out, commanding and unshakable. He stood in a perfect defensive guard. I don't want to hurt you further. Walk away, now. For a long moment, the bikers froze. The leader's eyes flicked from Evan to the filming crowd, then back to the boy whose tie was still perfectly straight. Their authority, built on size and hate, had dissolved into the dirt. Slowly, they backed away, limping toward their motorcycles. Engines roared to life, but the sound was hollow, a desperate attempt to reclaim the power they had just lost. As they sped away, a parent from the soccer field approached Evan, looking ashamed. I'm sorry, son. I should have stepped in sooner. I didn't realize. Evan just nodded politely. It's okay. I had it under control. Evan remained standing, eyes following the bikes until they were out of sight. Only then did he relax. Leo ran up, wide-eyed. Evan, they were so mean. How did you do that? Evan knelt, placing a hand on his brother's shoulder. It's not about their words, Leo, and it's not about their size. It's about being prepared, staying calm, and knowing that your character is your greatest shield. They wanted a fight, but we gave them a lesson. By the time they reached the front porch of their home, Evan's phone was buzzing. The video had already hit the local community boards. His mother stood at the door, holding her phone with a trembling hand, watching the footage of her son defending his dignity with the grace of a king. Pride replaced the lingering fear in her expression. You stayed calm in the face of hate, she whispered, pulling them both inside. That is the greatest victory of any man. That night, Evan realized that true courage isn't the absence of fear or the absence of hate. It's the iron discipline to act with integrity when the world expects you to break. From the other side of silence, Toss Stories, where real voices rise and truth finds its echo. Like, subscribe, and share, because real strength comes from preparation, calmness, and integrity.